Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku was the son of Batman? Anyways, let's get into this. Deku would be born much more older than natural, than natural Robins. He's technically the first Robin even before, Dick Grayson. As you know, we go to, normal My Hero Japan city. What will happen is that many things would have gone off in the weeks prior. Midoriya would have a lot of unknown about his childhood. A lot of mystery behind it. A person called Hisashi Midoriya, which they never really see in the story. And let's get on with it. At the age of 5, Midoriya would have been redeemed quirkless. But there would be some differences though. At that time, Midoriya, his will would be like iron. It wouldn't matter what you did to him. He would always be, stone-faced when it came to, certain things. Yes, he was very cheery as a child, but that didn't really stop him at what he did. Midoriya, after one day of UA, the timeline would have been different due to Midoriya being physically stronger than most people. Not just that, but he would be training a lot earlier than he did in canon, preparing to become a hero his entire life, and doing extreme training. As not just that, but he would use the bullying and, being called quirkless and useless like that. He would take that and use it as fuel to become a hero. And as so, he would build up his body very, to human limits practically. Or the strongest you can be as a human. Or at least partially, since Midoriya is still, him practically. Midoriya at a young age would see very differences in things. He would see lights as different causes. And unlike Batman, he would see things that he does not. If a villain is too dangerous, they should be killed. But if they're just, low-class villains, there's no need. Only those who truly deserve it. People like, All for One, Joker, and all that other jazz. Of course, recently, though, due to him, this would be in the dormitories, by the way. Midoriya would be walking, he would have gotten a cake. And also a certain item, you would say. For a certain somebody. They have known each other for about 3 years now. And Midoriya doesn't know if it's, it. But he does, he does believe it is to be. As he will be walking, into UA, and, would go to his dorm room. After going to his dorm room, he would have, asked some favors for some people. And after going to Araka's room to propose, there would be a very loud noise, you can say. This noise would have been the physical interaction between Bakugo. No, not Bakugo. People use Bakugo too much in this. I'll say Ida. No. You know, nah. I'll say it's just a random, person. Yeah, I'll say it's a random person. Not from Class 1A or Class 1B. Just random. As he would, see, he would hear, noises coming from her room. As he would open the door slowly and inevitably see Uraka being railed by someone, practically. A random person. As this would kind of anger Midoriya and just drop the cake right then and there. And he would dig into the cake and kind of take out the ring and kind of, I paid too much for this. I'm keeping this. And then selling it on, like, a market or something. So, practically, after leaving, people wouldn't hear from Midoriya at all. And immediately, the exact same, week, the next day, Midoriya will be accused of, criminal activities. Sending, I'll say this is before they make the League of before they make the Vanguard Action Squad. This is before then. I'll say they had the dormitories before the, USJ and all that. So yeah. As, people would start, beating him up, like everyone, like Class 1A, B, everyone. Because let's say, they were attacked individually. They all were. By, groups of villains. Or, I'll say, 2 to 1 person, they all got attacked. And, they, said they were sent by, Izuku Midoriya. As, practically him, oh, not just that, but being sent information as, there would be, shapeshifter in the League of Villains, framing Deku for multiple things. Not just, being in, a gang like the Yakuza, but also being sent, other things as well. As this boy would lose all sense of, like, trust in anyone. And especially Uraka. Especially them. Respectfully. Midoriya will be stuck in prison for, like, 2 years. Multiple years. I'm not going to give it a direct thing, because, it is what it is. So, after getting out, and, they found, Izuku Midoriya, innocent the first year, but, they didn't want to, put dirt on, UA's name, so they had to keep him in, jail, practically, from, their own reputation on the line. After being set free, Midoriya, yeah, he would look like this. He would look like this, practically. And, you can say he's not very friendly anymore. When I mean friendly, I mean Batman swords of friendly. Like, he's silent as a mouse. Not just that, but he picks up a lot of things. Meeting a person called Bane in there. Because I'll say, Bane did escape Gotham. Same with the Killer Croc. So he knows 2 villains already. And I'll say he did, that'd be too much villains. Anyways, he would, know a Bane and a Killer Croc. Inevitably, he would kind of break them out. No one will notice at all due to reasons. And, kind of like, using copies. Because I'll say, Bane has connections and, he knows people, clone quirks. So, yeah. That's for reasons. So, you can say, Deku's not in the best crowd. He knows 2 very dangerous people. in Japan. Like, yeah. They actually acted like Midoriya's family while he was in prison. They helped him out in many occasions, and inevitably, practically helped Deku out in every possible way you can think of. They got his back, and he got their back. As time goes on, Midoriya, he despises quirked individuals. Not just that, but he despises, like, heroes in general. Like, heroes, villains, he despises it all. He's not, that bad. He does, he hates their arrogance and, thinking they can do anything just because they have quirks. Inevitably, he does roll up back to UA, and you can say he's getting pretty decent amount of money after suing them in court. So he did get a lot of money. Yes, UA is still a thing, but it was more like a fine. It was like, for certain things, or not a fine, but they didn't go to court, but they kind of, paid Deku to, hush hush. We know it wasn't you, but, we can, ruin our reputation, practically. Midoriya, Urara's like, baby. Nah, this man was like, psych, juke, juke, juke. Nah. You see, you ever wanted to know why there's a cake in front of your door? Yeah, I know everything. As you know, he wouldn't trust anyone and inevitably, moved to Gotham. Immediately after. After this, Midoriya would go, he would find other, vigilantes and, heroes and whatnot. And unlike, Japan, you don't need licenses in, flippin' Gotham. Like, if you want to become a hero, you become a hero. Like, there is, there's no, way to, have that. So, I mean, it is what it is. New hero got you. Yeah, practically. As inevitably he does, meet a specific group. And he does meet, Tim Drake and every other Robin. As Midoriya would wake up and, jail. Yes, it was a dream. It was just a dream. And chillax. Yes. Midoriya would have had nightmares, or more of a dreams that are kind of not real, practically. But, Bane and Killer Croc would still be a thing, though. They were the only person of the dream that were real. As you know, inevitably, he does get bailed out. And inevitably, after working a couple of jobs, he does bail, both Bane and, Killer Croc out. But both of them, they didn't do that much in Japan, so they kind of, were set free. And what would happen next will be in the next video, because this is more of a short portion